Thank you for watching. So, I wanted to bring you some news here. There's this whole advertising thing that's going on here on YouTube. For those of you who are really not in tune with business news and what's really going on, you might not have any idea. You might think it's actually secluded to YouTube, and you see the PewDiePie stuff, and you see the Wall Street Journal writing articles about PewDiePie, but the reality is there's a big huge web. All business and politics is all intermixed, right? You understand that part, right? The people who lobby Congress, they represent certain businesses, and so they donate money, and you get all of that, right? Here's the deal. Advertising is going away. Oh, I'm sorry, not advertising. Advertising agencies are going away. And they have been going away. I actually read this before the adpocalypse and all the stuff with PewDiePie. So why is my channel being hit so hard? Well, my channel isn't just news. It's a sort of truth. What's the reality of the news? I've been invited to be on several shows, and then I say, I don't think you want me on your show because I'm going to come onto your show and tell you what's what, even about your own show. Now, that's not a very good house guest, is it? So here's the deal. Companies used to go to ad agencies, and the ad agencies were then responsible for disseminating the ads and making the ads, so forth and so on. You understand that part. Well, with the advent of the internet, they were also handling that. Well, the thing is, with the internet and computers, you can get data to tell you what's working and what's not working. But here's the deal. When you want to call a meeting and say, okay, we gave you $1 million, what's working and what's not working, then the ad agency has to go and collect all this stuff and do this, and they have other clients over here. They weren't used to coming back and having to respond to. With newspaper, you can say, well, 10% responded. And that's it. And that's the only thing that you can say. That's the only thing that you could really gather. But now with people being able to track everything that you do, how much you spend, how much you make, and have really a key demographics of who's really doing what. Are you homosexual? Are you a woman? Are you a white woman? Are you a black woman? Are you a black man? Have you been in prison? Do you make $60,000 a year? What kind of car do you drive? What aisle do you go up and down in the supermarket? They have detailed information on all of you. For all of you black people who say, I'm not going to go on Facebook and Twitter. I'm sorry, your local supermarket has far more information about you than the government ever will. And yes, they can sell that at the drop of a hat. There is no way that you cannot have already been tracked. Now, with computers, with this data out there, companies finally wised up and said, what do we need advertising agencies for? We can actually do all of this ourselves. So, in February or so, when the PewDiePie stuff came out, it was an excuse. I'm assuming PewDiePie was in on all of this, that he knew all of this already, because he's big enough to be in on the deal. In February, the company said, we're firing our advertising agency. Oh, I'm sorry, I left out something. The advertising agencies had already been written up, and there was a huge scandal brewing. What was the scandal? The company would give the advertising agents money, right? They give the agency money. What the advertising agency had done, though, is said, kind of like when they contract with the government, they say, oh, it's going to cost $1 million instead of $100,000. And they were double dipping. So they would go make the ad, disseminate the advertising, and then double charge or even triple charge the client. And this was an industry-wide practice. If you say, well, if that's the norm, then that's the norm, and that's the cost of doing business. Not so, because there then came advertising agents from all around the world that they now have to compete with, who said, no, we're not going to charge you 3 times as much. We're not going to charge you $1 million. We only want $100,000. And we're going to give you all of the data and show you how to track all of this stuff yourself. Competition is a fantastic thing. Socialism sucks. Get away from socialism, all you idiots. Now, so the companies finally wised up and said, so we don't need advertising agencies? And they said no. So now they're doing stuff internally. So there wasn't an adpocalypse the way that YouTube promoted it, or Google specifically, because this was going on in Google too. Nothing to do with any sort of bad videos or anything like that. Well, that was all a smokescreen to get people to buy into what was really going on. And what was really going on was a giant, huge corporation, Google and Facebook, were revamping the way that advertising is done on their websites. So instead of saying, hey guys, could you pause a minute? They had to go through all of this rigmarole and shenanigans to make up these stories that PewDiePie is a racist. PewDiePie is not a racist. He might be a homosexual, but he's not a racist. What they were trying to do was cancel the contracts that they had with the advertising agencies and then going into a system so that it could be done directly in-house with the actual companies involved, right? So Coca-Cola now had people on staff that did advertising. Now, they didn't want to hire, another million people just to do advertising. So Google and Facebook assured them that they would have a system in place where everything would be really simple. Businesses, however, suck. Google at this level sucks. While the advertising agencies were maybe corrupt in the way they were handling their customers, the deal is they still knew the advertising game, and they were quick learners as far as the internet is concerned and how to bring advertising on board to the internet. Companies, not so much. In fact, horrible. Coca-Cola, Pepsi, McDonald's, they don't know diddly squat for advertising. They're not advertising aficionados. They have absolutely no idea what's going on. So now you have all of these assurances and it says, we're going to make sure that your ad doesn't show up on bad videos. Well, they couldn't show up on bad videos before because the algorithm was so strict that half the time people who just said, I left my girlfriend wouldn't get advertising. Not offensive to anybody. Not to anybody. The algorithm was over strict before all of this happened. Now that this has happened, they've revamped it to make sure that they can censor people now. This is why YouTubers are now switching to stuff like direct funding from their fans. I only have about 10 fans. Actually, about 5 fans. But, so if you go to patreon.com/Shakaama, you can directly support me and keep this channel going. I have people say, I don't believe you, you're not homeless. You're not understanding that I am pulling strings to keep this stuff afloat, to keep my lights on. And avoiding certain people. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm avoiding certain people. Yes, I've become one of the degenerate Americans who live paycheck to paycheck. But yeah, I'm doing stuff behind the scenes. I am literally pulling my hair out to keep my lights on, to keep my internet going. This is what YouTubers have to do now. They have to appear. You're going to pay for it coming or going. You can at least pay for something that you want to see. Because here's the deal. If they censor the YouTuber, then you don't get to see what the YouTuber actually wants to show you. The YouTuber doesn't get to tell you the truth anymore. The YouTuber does video games. The YouTuber does top 10 guys who left the hottest women. That's what the YouTuber does. Oh, and if you're not aware that that's what's going on, and that's why people do it, there's videos out by YouTubers telling other YouTubers, this is how you keep your channel floating. You could do this and not think anything of it. Because the end has come. Companies have absolutely no idea how to advertise. And even with the data, they still don't know what they're doing. And for you, those of you who think, oh, they know what thing I buy, who is it that's looking at that data? Are they paying them enough to care? Are they paying them enough that when they come up to them and yell at them at their cubicle, will the person say, well, I think I just saved you, or I'm about to make you $250,000 today because I have this data that I've just analyzed, and here it is. Are they paying that person enough to tolerate that horrible boss? No. No, you all keep talking about minimum wage. No, it doesn't stop at minimum wage. It keeps going all the way up to unless you work for yourself. And even then, when you work for yourself, you still have to tolerate stuff like feminism, the homosexual agenda, and all this other stuff. That has absolutely nothing to do with nothing other than to divide the entire country into the smallest possible group. How can you divide men from men other than to suck out the homosexuals? Suck out the black ones. Suck out the Latinos. Suck out the Muslims. It's divide, divide, divide. So, we've got our gay rights. No, you got men's rights completely removed from you. That's what happened. You're no longer a man. Now you're a homosexual. Now they can do all sorts of stuff to you because now you're gay. You're no longer a man. Oh, you're married to a woman with children and she wants to get divorced? You don't have any rights because you're not a part of the men's rights movement. You're a homosexual. Oh, you don't think that happens? That happens a lot. Happens a lot. Oh, wait. You're a bisexual? And the gay agenda has tried to suck you into their agenda, although that you're 40% of the population while they're only 1% of the population? Ooh. And social justice warriors are talking about gender fluidity. What they really mean is homosexuality because nobody can conceive of bisexuality. Thank God the bisexuals haven't started a campaign, right? And that still they're hated by homosexuals and heterosexuals. Thank God for that. You're in a great position to still be considered a man. And you get all of the benefits and rights and privileges of being a man. And you're not separated from your women, well, or men for that, but you're not separated from your women by feminism. Because you are not separated from the rest of the groups. But the rest of you are. The Muslims, the gays, the feminists, the social justice warriors, the trans, who are 1% of 1% of 1%. But for some reason, it's a talking point. How can 1% of 1% of 1% be a talking point? This is why they don't want my channel making money. This is why they want to censor me. They don't want me to tell you the truth of what's really going on. And we say, well, Shakaama, you are always talking about racial issues because they need to be discussed. Idiots. Nobody's discussed this. Nobody said black people are not making money. Why are black people crashing through the bottom of every financial economic data point? Huh? Nobody's discussed that. Nobody's talked about that. Not even your Umar Johnson. Not even your Talis Smiley. Not even your Louis Farrakhan. Oh, they're talking about we po. Support black business. Support black business. Support. How? How can you support black business with no job? How can you support black business when the pharmaceutical company went to the school board and said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get you the privilege and honor of being able to diagnose children at your school and prescribe prescription medication at your school without any consent from the parent. Oh, well, little Johnny, white boy, goes and says, Mom, they diagnosed me with ADD. And Mom, white mom, says, no, little Johnny, you don't have ADD. Let me go down there. But Jamal, the black kid, comes home and says, how was your day? Nothing. No, school sucks. Why? Because the white teacher or the black teacher, hold on, it's not a racial thing on that level. It's a racial thing on this level. Nobody's going to come to Jamal's defense. I was diagnosed with ADD. Well, the white man must know. White man must know. I'm a single mother. White man must know. They must know what they're talking about. They give me prescription medication. Well, the white man must know. Ain't nobody talking about. Nobody's talking about that. Nobody. Oh, you think Umar Johnson is talking about that? He's talking. He mentions it in passing. How many Supreme Court cases are we bringing about this? How many? Oh, but you all don't want to support me. I would be the one bringing those cases. I said I wanted an all-boys schools, and I'm not going to profit from it. I said I wanted to create a STEM, science, technology, engineering, math scholarship for black boys. That's racist. No. Out of 1,000 members in the science department, 2 are black. I guarantee you a good 20 more would show up if I gave them a scholarship, complete free ride, and tutoring and everything that I said my scholarship would contain. We can't have black people be poor, not talk about it, not try and support black people, not try and elevate black people financially. This is why my channel was shut down. This is why my channel was censored. This is why I'm not making any money on the channel. And for all of you all saying, you're not homeless, I'm not homeless yet. I'm not homeless yet. Even my credit has a limitation. I don't have unlimited money, but even my credit has a limitation. This is why my channel was shut down. If you want to help me with all of these projects, all of them, you know, you could have a wing of the school with your name on it. I've already have a corporation set up to go with all of this stuff, but nobody showed interest. I don't have fans. I don't have black fans. So I'm going to ask all the black people, go ahead and unsubscribe. You do absolutely nothing. You're afraid of everything. You don't want to help yourselves. I don't want to help you. But if you're actually serious about something, you need to support me. Get on Facebook, get on Twitter, get on Instagram, get on Snapchat, get on Periscope, all of that stuff. Because I guarantee you, your supermarket knows more about you than your own mother. And that's not a joke. You're an idiot if you think Facebook is going to do something more to you than the local gas station. Your local gas station knows more about you than probably your mother. Are you really this ignorant of who knows what? They know all of those websites that you go to that you're not supposed, God's watching you. But I'm sorry, Google knows more about that than God. Oh, that's blasphemous. No, that's the truth. God doesn't care about your web browsing porn sites. Google does. Oh, you're into puppy. I don't even know. I don't even know the words. You're into midget. What? I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know the words. But Google knows all about that. Trust me. If you want to be serious, if you want to be a serious adult black person, you can get serious with me. The Tavis Smiley, oh, he's so nice. Oh. Louis Farrakhan, he's the truth. Oh. I don't need people to tell me I'm the truth. I don't need to tell people to tell me I'm deep. I don't need people to tell me I'm 100. I don't need people to tell me any of that stuff. I already know. That's why I said it. Because nobody else is saying it. So leave your compliments. Don't need them. I don't need you coming in telling me, I support black. You don't support black business. No, you don't. No, you don't. You know the best way for a black person to support a black business is to start a black business and hire other black people. That's how you support black business. I can't do that. Yes, you can. Watch my videos. I've given it to you for free. Those days are over. I've given it to you for free. This is why my channel is being censored. Seems that white people can say, hey, I started the Patreon and get $20,000 a month. White people can say, oh, my channel is being censored, and the white people just come in droves. Here's $1,000. I ask you, oh, I'm broke. You're broke? I sure do see you sipping on that latte. I sure do see every morning. Every morning. I've shown you how to make a latte yourself. It's all in my videos. Yo, you don't watch my videos? Of course you don't. Because you're trifling. Unsubscribe. Don't get mad. Just go away. Like this other boy that keeps, you said you were homeless. Well, I am technically. Does the business have to have the last thing on the shelf sold before they say, oh, we're out of business? Why are you out of business? Because 6 months ago we stopped ordering because we couldn't afford it because nobody buys here. Well, your stuff is too expensive. Oh, well, there you go. We're out of business. I knew this 6 months ago. I don't have to wait to the last second to know it's over. Like your marriage. You know when you don't love her anymore. You know at the very first inkling that you get. You don't love her. That's why she cheats. That's why you cheat. And this is why I'm censored. Thank you so much for watching the Shakaama live show. All of you all are just so nice and caring, and I don't care about you. Anyway, have fun. I'm joking. I'm kidding. I'm serious. Who knows?